So this video is going to show you how to create a simple puzzle piece using Autodesk Inventor. So when you open Inventor, you're going to click New, and it's going to bring you to this screen where we want to choose English because we're using inches instead of centimeters. If we're using centimeters, we would use metric. We're going to be choosing English, Standard, Standard Part File, and then we'll click Create. So this initial screen is what's going to pop up, and the first thing we want to do is create a 2D sketch. So if you click this bottom portion, it will say, do you want to create 2D or 3D? We want 2D. So it shows us these planes, which are X, Y, and Z planes. We can tell that here is the YZ plane, here's the XY plane, and this is the XZ plane. So depending on what sort of part you want to create, you're going to choose a different plane to work with. The most common would be the XY plane, which would be technically the front view of your multi-view sketch. This YZ plane would be the right view, and the XZ plane would be the top view. So we're going to create this simple L shape. So we want to start with the front view, which is the one that you're usually going to start with. You would use the XZ plane, maybe if you were making something like a straw and you wanted to make a circle at the top and then extrude it down. That would be one of the parts that you would want to use the XZ plane to start off with. So we're going to choose our XY plane, and we can tell that we chose that because our screen changes and now we see that X is this axis and Y is this axis. So there are a couple different ways that we can make this part. We can either start with a line, and I'm going to show you quickly what I mean. So using line, we could just create the outside of that shape. And I will show you exactly how to do this. So there's our L. We can have that and then extrude it. Or we could use two rectangles if we wanted. There's one, and there's the other shape of the L. So we have the same L. The other one didn't have this line inside, but there's ways to get around that. So I'm going to show you how to do it both ways. So let's go a little bit slower. So if we want to make a simple L shape, we can choose line. So we chose our line tool, and we want to draw the outline of our L shape. So we can take our line tool and we'll make a loose outline of this L shape. It's very important to make sure that your lines are all straight. So you'll click and drag your mouse over. I like to line it up with my center point at the beginning, so it doesn't matter how long your line is, because we can change that using the dimension tool after. All you have to make sure is that you pay attention to the degree. So as you can tell, this is 13, 11, 9, 5, 0. So when I have 0 degrees, I'm straight line. When I'm at 90, I'm straight. When I'm at 180, I'm straight. And 90. So make sure that you aren't leaving your line bent, because then your whole drawing is going to be messed up. So you can click there, and you only need to click once, and it will continue taking that line until we go and close our shape. So I'll go all the way down to the center point, click, drag out, make sure that I'm at a straight line, click down, and you can see that I get this dotted line straight above my arrow when I'm lined up with my point. So I'll click there and close my shape. And once my shape is closed, I won't have that line anymore. So now I can use my dimension tool to tell the computer how long I want this line to be. So I click on the line and drag up. Once I click, it will tell me this is the dimension that I currently have. What dimension do I want? So when we're making our cube shapes, each side of our cube should be 0.75 inches. So we'll do 0.75 and check. And as you can see, that made my my drawing much bigger. So all I have to do, come over here, click this little arrow below my magnifying glass. Right now I'm on zoom in and out. If I click zoom all, it will make my entire shape go into my viewing screen. So 0.75 is that. Now, how tall this is, that's 2 separate blocks. So if I click this and dimension this, that would either be 1.5 inches, which is 0.75 plus 0.75. If I don't know that, or I don't want to have to do the math, I can just put in 0.75 plus 0.75, and that gives me my 1.5. I can click this again, and I'm zooming out. So continue doing that for all your dimensions. Here's going to be 0.75 because it's only one block. Here's going to be 0.75 because it's one block. And now we'll see what happens when I click on this line. It's already at 1.5, and if I click, I get this little error message that says this dimension will over-constrain the sketch. So we talked about what over-constraining the sketch means. So make sure that you know you don't want those extra dimensions. Same thing will happen over here, saying I'm going to over-constrain it. We don't need that dimension then. So we'll finish that sketch. I know that everything is all dimensioned perfectly. And as you can see, when I finish my sketch, my drawing turns, and now you can see that this is facing the XY plane, because that's the plane that we made our sketch on. If I made it on my XZ plane, it would be laying down flat. So all I have to do now is extrude this shape. Since it's the only shape that I have enclosed, it automatically chooses that one. I don't want to pull it out 1 inch. I want it 0.75 because I know every block is 0.75. So all I have to do, plug in that 0.75 and check. So there is my 3D Inventor model of my L-shaped puzzle piece. I can change the color by going up here to where it says generic. Oh no, over here, where on your screen it's going to already be your default, and I can make it whatever color I want. So if I want it to be magenta, I'll click that. It'll change the color of my puzzle piece. If I just wanted to change the color of this front, I can click here, say I want that to be orange. That will change just that front color. So there's a bunch of different things that we can do with Inventor, and you want to make sure that the colors of your puzzle pieces on your isometric and multi-view sketching drawings match up with the colors that you make on Autodesk. So say that now I wanted to add another box on the front of this L shape coming out. I can now create another 2D sketch on the front plane, and say I just want to have a box. I can click the corner to corner, and if I try to dimension it, it will tell me that's already 0.75 because I'm going corner to corner. So I can finish that, and now if I want to extrude, I want to extrude just this portion is what I want to extrude. So I'll click there, pull it out, 0.75, and there is my piece. If I want to spin around so I can see the whole thing, I can left click on this box and spin around my mouse so I can pivot around, or I can click all different portions of this cube to see different sides of my shape.